All right. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming to class today. Um, I want to read something, so I'm going to sit up while I do that, but I want to give you a couple of options for laying down. And the first one is to take your blanket, if you have it, at that wider width and roll it into just a little bit of a burrito, and you're going to lay on that over your back. So we're going to start our class this morning by opening up the upper body, and trying to open up the upper back a little bit. If you have a lot of rounding in your lower back or in your upper back, a pillow is going to go under your head to keep your spine in line. And if you have no issues at all, and I do mean no issues at all, feel free to instead one block high or one block at the medium setting, one block at the low setting, and we're going to lay over that instead. Okay. So, and you can put your blankets over this just to make it softer. But Go ahead and pick your pose this morning. Decide what feels good. The other thing with this one, block it medium, block it low, is you can also put a blanket under your hips to lessen any curve in the lower back. All right, so as you are getting settled, I just want to read this. I went to a outdoor pottery thingy sale, and one of the potters was just giving away beautiful quotes. They were all in a bowl, and it said, "Take one." And I grabbed this one by Toko Pa Turner. It is through our instinctual nature that our soul's medicine for the world flows. For many of us, however, this wilderness within has been so domesticated and harnessed for its resources that we barely recognize its call. But just as a plot of land can be rewild by a kind of leaving it alone, so too can we rewild our psyches by ceasing self-development and allowing mystery to work upon us. So that one really spoke to me, as we try to tap into kind of the natural resources of our own bodies. So finding the chest opening pose of your choice this morning, and also know that you don't have to do either of those. You can lay flat on the floor. And if your back really bothers you, you can lay on your belly as another option. Eyes are closed, your tailbone is nice and long. Try not to make this too much of a back bend. Keep the lower back nice and long here. And feel your breath. So not forcing the breath at all, not making it more than it is. Maybe your knees are bent and your feet are on the floor. Maybe the legs are straight. Whatever feels right to you this morning. And just notice. Now, for some of you, if you're using the blocks, some of you are going to stay right here, keeping the head elevated. But if you want to try, just lower the top block so that it is level with the bottom block. It's going to open up the front of the neck a little bit. Your chin might rise a little bit, but you don't want to go super deep. Feel the shoulders just drop to either side of your block. If the block between or along your shoulder blades doesn't feel good, see if you can shift it a little bit up or down. I have mine going wide to either side of my back as opposed to long along the spine. Maybe deepen the breath just a little bit. Try to relax your jaw. Good. We're going to stay here for about 3 more full breaths this morning. If you're still okay on the blocks, just hang out there. Everybody bend their knees. Place your feet on the floor. Draw your left knee toward your chest. Take the hands behind your left knee and straighten the leg up toward the ceiling. And then just bend and straighten a couple of times, maybe 3 times total. And let that foot come to the floor. Bring the right knee toward chest. Hold the back of that knee and straighten and bend maybe 2 more times. Good. And release. If you're on a blanket instead of blocks, go ahead and take your hands behind your head uh, so that your head and neck are nice and level. You're just interlacing hands behind. If you're on the blocks, your top block goes down to the same level as the other. And then everybody just lift the hips a little bit and lengthen the tailbone. So if you hate these blocks, take them out completely. You don't need them. You can do this flat on the floor. So with your hips suspended, I want you to just let the tailbone or the hips kind of drop toward the floor without touching and then tuck. So you're doing a suspended tilt and tuck of the pelvis. You're not touching the floor. You're just tucking up and then letting the hips drop back toward floor. Good. A couple more right here. So sometimes we allow gravity to release some of the tightness. Sometimes this doesn't work at all, and you are not on the blocks and you're keeping the hips down and just doing some pelvic tilts and tucks at that from the floor itself. Good. Couple more here, everybody. Just see if you can release. It's not about going deeper, but about allowing the lower back to move a little freely. And then pause and tuck the pelvis, really lengthen. So the low back is really lengthened. Option one, stay here. Option two, just lift one foot off the floor. So I've got my right foot lifted, my left leg and left glute are working like crazy to hold those hips and that pelvis stable. Lower that foot down. We're almost done. Lift the other leg. Feel the standing leg work. Breathe, everybody. Place that foot on the floor. Lift the hips just a little and then lower it all the way down to the floor. Hands behind your head. You're either going to turn to the side to get blocks out and blanket out, or you're just going to tuck your chin, grab your legs, come on up, and then take all of that out of the way. You're going to need your strap here, everyone. Keep your blocks nearby. So I'm going to put my blocks to the outside of my right hip. And you're back down on the floor, knees are bent. Oh, feel that. Whew. Right. So, especially if you were on the blocks that whole time, it can feel just a little testy, but hopefully not painful. Grab your strap, take that strap around the right foot. If you have two blocks, stack both blocks to the outside of your right hip. Now, depending on your hamstrings, either your left foot stays on the floor or the left leg is straight. If you straighten your left leg and your right leg starts heading toward the floor because your hammies are really tight, keep your left foot on the floor. It really does make a difference. We're giving the body permission to release, right? Instead of working so hard all the time, we're asking this body, these hamstrings in particular, to relax and open up a little bit. And according to the science, we have to hold these stretches usually somewhere between 30 and 60 seconds for the muscles and the connective tissue to relax a little. So feel the shoulders soften. Stay with your breath here. Notice. Good. One more nice breath here. And then the straps in your right hand. You're going to allow the right leg to go out to the right until it lands on your blocks. Okay. So, depending on your inner thighs, maybe you're stacking one block low, one block high. Um, See if you can find a way for those blocks to land or that leg to land on your block and still your pelvis relatively neutral. It might not be completely neutral, but relatively neutral here. And then you could almost lessen the grip on the strap a little bit. Let the block support your legs. Don't go for your biggest, deepest stretch ever. Just feel a nice, really gentle stretch on this side. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Try to relax a little bit into it so it's part active, part passive stretch. Smile, let go, be in this very moment. Maybe feel where the stretch is for you. Good. One more nice deep breath here. Engage the belly. And then take that right leg straight up to the ceiling. Bend the knee, release your strap, straighten that leg down to the floor, and feel one side versus the other side. And just notice if you feel any difference. I'm going to switch, I'm going to turn myself around so I have room for that same stretch on the other side. Good. So when you're ready, bend the left leg, bring that foot into your strap. Remember, your right leg is either straight or the foot is on the floor. Just try to be real, like clear with what's going on with your hamstrings. They might be particularly tight today, and you need to keep that foot on the floor to have an effective stretch without straining. Your pelvis is pretty neutral here. We won't be too much longer on our backs, but if you can just hold on, just hang in there. And then soften that left shoulder, soften the gaze, the jaw. I think so much, whether it's a yoga class or going to the gym or working, that we can over effort. And today we're just going to see if we can lessen the effort and still have a really nice response in our bodies, and sometimes really a better response because we're not over efforting. All right, when you're ready, the blocks are to the outside left hip. We're going to lower that leg to the left side. We're holding the strap just to have a little bit of control, but otherwise, we're going to let that leg rest on the block. Feel our stretch through the inner thigh. Breathe, and you can manipulate the blocks so that they are higher. You can bring them closer to the outer line of the leg to have more support a little bit closer in. Try to relax your body into this, right? So I can catch myself like holding or wanting to flex more than I need to. Let it go. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And there might be a point where you feel a physical release of the muscle, in this case, the inner thigh muscles, the adductors. Just breathe. Good. When you're ready, you're going to squeeze the lower belly in. That's going to help you support your back as you bring that big leg back up to center. Bend the knee, release the strap, straighten both legs, and just kind of shake out the hips and notice how that feels all the way down the legs. Notice if there's any less tension in your lower back. And then squeeze your glutes and hips as much as you can reasonably. Squeeze everything into the center. And on the exhale, let it all go. As you inhale, squeeze through the glutes, the hips. You'll feel your back body lift just a little. And let go. We've got one more here. Big squeeze. And let go. All right, grab one block, take one block underneath your sacrum. So we're lifting up again. For my friends out there that have had enough of your back, um, just come on to your side and you're going to take the top leg back. So, what are we doing here, everybody? Take the right knee toward your chest very lightly and straighten the left leg. So again here, right? How do we, especially with the lower back, the low back can hurt for a gazillion reasons, many of which I don't know. But when our muscles are imbalanced or tight, it can really pull on the back. So here we're tapping into a stretch of the upper left thigh and the psoas by allowing the left leg to relax, the right knee just simply hovering in space, and again tapping into the breath and allowing this gentle stretch of the front hip, the deep low belly, just letting it go. Maybe your left arm is out to the side. Again, if you can't stay on your back for long, you would just turn to one side and then the top knee would be bent and moving back behind you a little bit without overarching the back. Just so you are getting into a similar stretch. It'd be a little different, but similar. Stay with the breath. The psoas and the breath are deeply connected. As we breathe, we can release the psoas. If we sit a lot, we tighten the psoas. Good. Very gently slide the left knee in. Switch sides, hold the left knee in place. Straighten the right leg. If this is hurting your lower back in any way, you can take the block out and just do this flat on the floor. Sorry, I didn't say that earlier. Or you can have a blanket underneath the sacrum instead of a block. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Every exhale, relaxing your body, allowing the muscles to soften, allowing the muscles to not feel threatened. Therefore, they can release a little bit more. One more. Very slowly bend the right knee, bring it into chest. Just hold the block with your hands and take both legs up to the ceiling. And notice as you do that, try to keep the legs neutral, try to keep the pelvis somewhat neutral. So maybe more of the sacrum is on the block instead of letting the legs go overhead and coming off the sacrum completely. Deep breath in. If you are flat on the floor, not using a block, a strap here might be helpful just to help you there. One more. Bend the knees, one foot to the floor at a time. Breathe, press into your feet, lift your hips. Take that block out from under you. Draw your knees to your chest, roll over to one side, and stay on that side again if you can. Feel free to cushion underneath you and your head. The top leg, you're going to bring it up to your chest and then just circle it around. Like make a big circle, however it makes sense to you, as if you were drawing a circle with that knee. Now, if you get a clicky noise, normally that is a tendon just popping over a bone. And normally that is not at all harmful. But I would change the circle. Like I was getting a little clicky noise, so I just made my circle a little smaller so that it wouldn't irritate the tendon. Yeah, just breathe. One more big circle. And then let one knee come right on top of the other and pause. If you can, you're just going to flip over and come on to the other side. If you're like me and you have a wall too close, just turn yourself around. Pause there, one hip stacked on top of the other, and then circle that top knee. That's it. Just kind of notice, right? What happens when the knee comes closer to the floor or when it points up to the ceiling? Can I explore this hip joint without causing pain or discomfort? Ah, good. One more big circle. I know this is a little sleepy class. We'll get moving in a moment. And then release, both knees stacked. We are almost done with the floor work. I want you to come onto your back or onto your bellies. Oh, good. Your hands stack, your forehead resting on your hands. And then once again, I want you to play with this idea of a tuck and a tilt. I am not overarching. It's really more of a tuck And then a release of the pelvis. Tuck, just release. A couple more here. So through tightness and imbalance and habit, we can tighten the muscles that pull on the back and cause us to lose some of that natural curve and some of the suppleness of the muscles along the spine. So here we're just exploring. Good. And then come to neutral and allow your back to do whatever it would normally do on the floor, on your belly. You know, how often do we lay here on our bellies and just allow the legs and hips to be where they are? All right, everybody, releasing that. Press onto your knees. Here's where you're going to grab your blanket, place it underneath your knees. Not going to need your strap for now, but maybe your blocks are toward the front of your mat, just so you can get to them in a moment. Already warmed up and we haven't hardly done anything. So on your hands and knees, for my friend out there, you can always come to forearms. For this portion, your right leg goes straight back. The belly tones in so that you are neutral here in the back. Lift the right leg and simply bring it toward your right elbow and then release and lift. Allow the head to follow, so tucking the chin a little and lifting the chin. But again, I really just want you to feel more than I want you to do, if that makes sense. So don't make it more than it is. Just allow the leg and the pelvis and the lower back muscles and even the upper back here to move naturally in the body. Good. Maybe one more with that right leg. And then you're going to take the right leg and step it all the way through. Grab your blocks. Find a nice, sweet little lunge. Front of that left leg is stretching. The left glute is active. The chest is tall. Maybe a little bit of a tone to the belly here. And we're going to just experience this stretch of the front of the left leg, but not just dropping through the joint. Keep some containment of the left hip so that you're not dropping and straining through that joint. If you have pain, you're going even less, okay? Good, breathe. Find the breath. On your next exhale, straighten the front leg, flex the front foot. Just come into, again, a little bit of a hamstring stretch. If your knee doesn't bend this much, just keep it a little bit more forward and keep the front knee bent enough, and you're still going to hit that hamstring on the right side. Deep breath. And then bend the right knee. Take that knee back. Good. Move the blocks to the side for a moment. Press back through the left leg. Take the leg up, squeeze in the lower belly to neutralize the spine. And then bring that knee in toward the elbow and release it. And just feel it. It does not have to be like you see in the yoga magazines, right? It doesn't have to be pretty. Just let that leg swing A little, just a little. Let's just do two more. One more. And step that left foot all the way through again. Grab your blocks. Keep the hands on the blocks just nice and light so that you're not over leaning into the blocks. And if you feel like you're super heavy on the blocks, just take them up a little bit higher. And then feel that right side. So often, right, we're imbalanced left to right. Certain parts of the left side on me are tighter than the right, and vice versa. And I don't know that there's much we can do about that other than maybe pay attention and maybe notice if we always stand heavy on one leg or sit with our legs crossed or, you know, but otherwise we embrace what we have, allowing this right, psoas right thigh to stretch out a little bit, the right hip, but not overdoing it. And when you're ready, straighten the front leg, flex the right or the front foot, and breathe. And bend. Move the blocks to the front of your mat. Take that left foot, bring it back, knees on the floor, and downward facing dog. Oh, yeah, right. So stretch it out, everybody. Flex, bend one knee and then the other. And again, take the moment to pause, keep one knee bent, keep the other leg relatively straight. Feel the stretch through the Achilles, the calf muscles. The hips are even. Breathe. We're keeping the upper body engaged here. And switch and breathe. Good. Inhale, tippy toes. Exhale, lower to the knees. Walk your hands forward and find puppy stretch. So the arms are extended, the knees and hips stacked one on top of the other. If your forehead does not easily come to the floor, please don't force it. You can even take a block under the forehead so that your neck and upper back stays more neutral. Your elbows can either be on the floor or off. And we're just stretching this out a little bit. Again, a deep breath. Upper back work here. Don't overdo it if it's too much. And release. Walk those hands back. Downward, downward facing dog. Take the feet wide on your mat, everyone. Walk those hands all the way back. If your blanket happens to be right there, you can just move it out of the way while you're in your forward fold. Take your hands to your shins, come halfway up, but don't lock the knees. Bend the knees, take your elbows to your knees, and sit way back like you're sitting in a seat. Breathe. And then hands to knees and come all the way up. Whew. I know it. So if you're not feeling your upper back, right? Even I am, and I have a pretty open upper back, and I'm feeling all of that work. So just be gentle, be kind, be loving to yourself. Come on up to the front of your mat. Your blocks are at the front of your mat. Inhale, reach up. When you reach up, notice where the arms go, right? Hold on to that little beach ball between the hands. Feel the chest rise, but the shoulder blades drop down. Legs are active. As you exhale, slow swan dive all the way down. Breathe. Your hands can come to your blocks or to the floor. Bend the knees, step back, right leg. Let's find a lunge here. Your back knee can come to the floor. Make sure the feet are wide enough. Take your hands to your knee, lift your chest. Inhale, option to take those arms up. Squeeze through the back leg. Good. Exhale, slowly take those hands down to your blocks. Leave the right hand where it is. Take the left arm up and give me like 3 big circles. Lubricating all these joints, moving everything around. That's it. Hands come back down. Let's move the blocks just so we can come to downward facing dog. Find that breath. Make sure those shoulders are secure. You're not dropping through. Inhale, tippy toes. Exhale, lower those knees to the floor. Bring the hips back only if that makes sense for your knees. And then round your back up. Release it into cow. Listen up. Come to neutral. Straighten the legs for plank. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. Breathe. When you're ready, you can drop the knees and step forward right leg, or just step forward right leg. Push off your left. Bend both of those knees. Take it up. Exhale to your heart. Pause here. Find your breath. Release your arms. Inhale, reach up, everyone. Exhale, take it down. Hands are to your blocks or not, however it makes sense for you. Bend both knees, step back left leg. Hold here. Remember that back knee always can come to the floor. Breathe. Once you're ready, if you're ready, take those hands to your knee, lift your chest. Take the arms up. Simple little sun salute here, little variations. We explore the body. We maybe rewild the body a little bit and allow it to feel something different. Exhale, slowly take those hands down. This time the right arm circles 3 times. Nice and slow, taking that arm into its full range of motion. Releasing that, maybe set the blocks to the side. Step back downward facing dog. Hold here for a moment. Find your breath. Imagine pushing the hands away from you. Keeping the back of the knee soft, keeping the sit bones lifted up toward the sky. Tippy toes down to your knees. Either puppy stretch or child's pose, just so briefly stretching that whole body. And then round it up. Release into a nice cow pose. Come into neutral. Downward facing dog. The plank pose. Breathe. Hold here. Strong, solid poses. Don't let the hips sink. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down dog. Looking forward. Left foot comes forward. Right foot comes forward. Bend the knees and inhale all the way up. Exhale to your heart. And pause here in this mountain pose. Hands are to your hearts. The shoulders are drawing back. The chest is lifted. Close the eyes if you are comfortable with that. And then with the eyes closed, track the arms as they release, hands down to your sides. Just feel it as you let it go. And breathe. And open the eyes and shake it all out. So grab both of your blocks, everybody, and go wide on your yoga mat. And take the blocks in front of you. They can be up at high or medium. That's generally the best spot for those. And then take the feet wide on your mat and roll the shoulders. And notice. And then one arm up and back and up and back. Good. One more. Good. Do the other side. Lubricating the shoulder joints. One more big circle. And then take both hands behind, interlace those hands. And I've said this a number of times. As we reach the arms and shoulders back, keep a softness to the elbows and don't try to pull down really hard. I've found over the years that that really puts a strain on my neck because I'm just yanking on those tendons. So keep it a little bit softer in the shoulders, but just press the arms back. And if you can, press the palms toward each other or bring them right together. Just feel that, right? Different way to stretch and hold. Soften the head, soften the neck. Find the breath and release. Inhale all the way up. Exhale down to your blocks. Think about the stretch that we did on the floor. So here, right, lengthening through the spine, keeping the pelvis and the lower back nice and long. Maybe your hands are on your blocks, maybe they're to the floor, maybe your elbows are on your blocks. Resist the urge to bring your head to the floor. I've just never understood that. Stay with a controlled kind of stretch and then just shift the pelvis very, very slightly side to side. So we're tapping into those upper inner thighs again, right into the area of the groin, going slowly. And the next time you shift the hips a little to the right, pause there. You should feel just a little gentle stretch in the left side groin. And I just want you to hold and breathe. And then release that side and shift the hips toward the left. The stretch comes into the right upper inner thigh and pause. And release. Take your hands to your blocks, come halfway up. Turn the toes out, bend the knees, and sink into the hips. So here we are again, just go little side to side and feel the depth of the hips. Keep some tone to the belly here so that we don't overarch in the lower back. Try to keep the pelvis somewhat neutral. And then explore, explore, explore. Maybe one leg almost goes straight and the other, and maybe it's just a little side bend, right? A side stretch. And then once you're there, come on into the middle space. One hand to each knee. Draw the shoulders back, lift the chest. Hold here, wide leg squat, wide leg squat. Press those knees out, out, out. Roll the shoulders up to the ears and then roll them back. Take the hands behind you, press palms together. Whoo. Yeah. And breathe. And hold just two more breaths. One here. And one more. Release the hands, arms up, legs straight. Hold. Exhale, elbows to the sides, goddess pose. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, goddess. One more. And exhale. Hands to your thighs, straighten the legs, heel toe in, everybody. Ooh, yeah, shake that out. Right? So it is kind of interesting to me. Again, maybe notice, how does my back feel? How do my legs feel? How do my hamstrings feel? Is there still a lot of tension in the upper back? All right, so mindfulness here, especially if you have knee stuff. Hands come to your hips, nice and comfy. Take your all mirror here, take your right leg and just step it out. Does not have to even be that far. And bring it back in. Same leg, I want you to just diagonal it back. Keep the knees soft and bring it in. Take that same leg behind you. I got a wall there. And take it back. Same thing, other leg, take it out to the side. You can bend the knee or keep it straight and bring it in. Diagonal the same leg back and center. Take the same leg behind you and center. Go back to the first leg. Here we go. Out and in, same leg, back at a diagonal and in, straight back any amount and forward. Other leg, take it out to the side and forward. Take it back diagonal and forward. Take it straight behind you and forward and hold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, halfway, all the way, hands to blocks, whatever feels good to you. Find your breath. Good. Bend the knees, everybody. Inhale all the way up. Exhale to your heart. And take those blocks to the front of your mat again. Good. Maybe take them up high for now. We're just going to do a little bit more movement through this low back-ish. So I want you to just do your best. Don't overdo it. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands come down to your blocks. If they feel okay, you can keep them high. If you would rather, you can take them medium. I would not go low. Walk the feet back just a little bit and bend both knees a little bit. So you got a real softness there. The right foot peels off and lifts up behind you. And then just come on, take it back to the floor. Same leg 2 more times. Lift and lower. Keep the bend in the knees. 1 more. When you lift the leg, the other leg can straighten, by the way. And lower. Good. Same thing, other leg. Take the left leg up. When it lands, lower. And up. And lower. Last one. And lower. Going back to the first leg this time. Bend both knees. Keep the bend in the right knee and lift. And lower. If you don't need to touch, don't touch. Lift it up. And then just bring it toward the elbow. Last one, lift. And lower. Take that foot to the floor. Left side, the knees are bent. Keep it bent and lift. And as you take it down, maybe it taps your elbow. Up and down. Last one. And down. And release. Move those blocks off your mat. Plant the hands. Come back to downward facing dog. Find your breath. Inhale, tippy toes. Exhale, lower your knees. And just find child's pose, hero pose, seated, whatever feels good to you. Feel your breath. Good, release. Table pose. You can do this on elbows. We're doing plank. So two choices. The first thing I want you to do, by the way, if you want to come on down to plank, but everybody stay on your knees and walk the knees back and start to lower the pelvis so that you are in a low plank. Now, I'm not dropping my hips toward the floor. I have full control there. My lower belly is toned in. 1, you're here. 2, you're lifting your knees. And breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees. Just reach back, puppy stretch, or a variation child's pose. And come back to half plank. 1, you're here. You're going to tap one shoulder down, tap the other shoulder. We're doing 3 on both sides, or you're in full plank. Here we go. Tap and opposite. That's 1, 2, and 3. Lower the knees. Sink back, child's, or anything else that serves your body. Come on, back up. Half plank. Again, elbows works here. Lift the knees. 1, you're here. 2, lift one leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower. Lift the other leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower. Take the knees down, everybody. Sink back. And then slide right onto your bellies. And lower the upper body. Ooh. So we're here at the beginning of class. I want you to do those pelvic tilts and tucks again. And the tilt, again, the arch of the low back is really more of a release and less of a purposeful lifting of the hips. The next time you are tucked, stay there. You should feel the pubic bone on the mat. Breathe. I'm keeping my chin up just so I can talk, but your forehead and neck should be neutral. Lift your left leg only and hold and lower. Lift your right leg only and lower. Arms come out in front of you. Forehead is neutral. You can have the head lifted, by the way. Lift your left leg, lift your right arm. Circle that arm back and turn the palm up. And then circle all the way back and lower both limbs. Lift your other leg, opposite arm. Breathe. Circle that arm back, palm face up. Circle it forward and lower. Lift both legs. Please don't do this if your lower back is screaming. Press into both hands and lift the head and neck. And you're just kind of gazing it toward your thumbs a little bit. 1, you're here. 2, you're going to lift both arms, turn the palms in. 3, you're going to take the arms behind you, lift. Shoulders are back. 4, interlace. Press the palms together. Breathe. And release fully. Bend the knees, everybody. Little windshield wiper here. Release. Roll over to one side. We're coming back onto our back. So if you are wanting to, maybe that pillow blanket, something underneath your back. Draw both knees to chest. Allow the knees to roll to one side and come into a twist. Support your twist here, everybody. Block between the knees, block under the knees, whatever feels good to you. So if your knees are to the right, take the right hand under your head. You're just supporting the back of your head basically with your hand. And then take the left arm and reach it all the way over. So you're curling in. Open it back out to the left. The hand supporting the head just helps that head from rocking around on the floor, keeps it soft. Maybe one or two more here. And once you're back into your twist, hold here and extend the left arm overhead. Breathe. Release the arms. Take your knees back to center. Draw the knees to chest. Roll the knees over to the left. Hold right here. Take the left hand under your head. And then the right arm comes across and back open. Maybe 3, 4, 5 times. Again, moving through this kind of fluid movement where we're not just holding a static pose, but stretching that whole spine. Good. And then keep that keep the arms open and just lift the right arm a little more overhead. Release the right arm. Bring the knees back to the center. Draw both of your knees to your chest. Keep the right knee in, straighten the left leg. And just hold. If your knees and flexibility allow, just place your forearm behind your knee. And so you're not even holding it. You're just your forearms keeping your knee toward chest. Just kind of let that go. Let the left leg go. Deep, deep breath. Good. Little bit of tone to the lower belly. Left leg in, right leg long. Your forearm behind your knee so that you can just let it rest there. Can you soften? And release. So we are ready for Shavasana. If you are in a cooler climate and want to get warmed up, go ahead and put shirts or socks or whatever on. I'm going to invite you to do just a little bit of a different Shavasana if you want. I'm going to need both of your blocks and your blanket. We did a similar one on Wednesday. The blocks go outside either knee. It's going to be a Baddha Konasana Shavasana, but you're also going to take your blanket and you're going to lay the blanket down where your feet would be. And then I've got my blanket nice and wide, and you're just going to wrap your feet in the middle. One, it'll keep your feet warm. Two, it's a variation on a bind. So you're just going to wrap up the feet so it feels really nice and yummy. And then lower down and take the blocks to a place where this pose is fully supported. So your legs are laying on those blocks. There is no more work to do here. You're going to allow the legs to relax, allow the lower back to stay really long. Not about the feet coming up close to the pelvis or anything. Keep it nice and wide. And then the shoulders open, the palms go face up. And you celebrate this beautiful and flexible spine that hopefully feels a little bit more balanced now than it did when you started class. Closing the eyes, starting to really tap into the breath. Feel yourself soften against the hardness of the floor. Feel your jaw soften. Feel the legs heavy. Go softer still. You are ready. Start to move the body. If you have stayed in Baddha Konasana for that entire time, bring the knees together and maybe just move your blocks out of the way. Draw the knees toward your chest. Allow the knees to roll over to one side. Curl up in fetal pose. And then ever so gently push all the way up. Come to your seated pose. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to your heart. Bow to that inner voice. Namaste, everyone. Namaste.
Okay. Oh, good.
Have a great day, everybody.